Welcome to the Snapshots of History channel.
The unpolished New York, pushcarts, jazz, newborn towers. In 1 minute, a century of rare photos rolls by. You're looking at Bandit's Roost, 59.5 Mulberry Street, captured in 1888 by reformer Jacob Riis. 5 Points was New York's roughest slum, ruled by street gangs so fierce police entered in squads. Riis's stark photos shocked middle-class readers and spurred the city's first housing codes. The alley was later demolished to create today's Columbus Park. Mulberry Street, New York, circa 1905. Italian vendors hawk clams and potatoes from a pushcart while kids dart behind them. More than 2,000 carts once clogged the Lower East Side, until Mayor LaGuardia moved them indoors to the new Essex Street Market. Those humble carts sparked the street food culture New Yorkers still relish today. Central Park, circa 1900. A stylish wheelman lounges beside Bow Bridge, the graceful cast-iron span completed in 1862 by the same foundry that topped the U.S. Capitol Dome. During the 1890s bike craze, riders flocked here on new safety bicycles. Though park rules capped their speed at 8 miles per hour, a quiet snapshot of New York's early cycling culture is Madison Square, about 1900. Handsome cabs line the park as top-hatted drivers wait for the theater rush. One sharp whistle bought you a ride up Broadway, 25 cents for the first mile and a half. By 1902, the Flatiron would loom over this scene. By 1907, gasoline taxis were already nudging the horses aside. New York City, 1921. Deputy Police Commissioner John A. Leach oversees agents dumping seized whiskey into the sewer, a textbook Prohibition photo op. In the first year alone, cops destroyed more than 50,000 barrels, yet bootleggers thrived. By 1925, the city boasted over 15,000 speakeasies. Ironically, New Yorkers ended up drinking more during the dry era than they had before the ban. New York City, 1903. Beneath the cast-iron stairs of the elevated line, a teenage hawker sells Harper's, Puck, and early comics, each for a nickel, the same as a ride on the L. Every rumbling train drowns his shout of "Extra!" The subway opens next year, but Manhattan's news habit starts right here. Parked outside the firehouse is FDNY's first hybrid rig, a Metropolitan steam pump on a Knox gasoline chassis, 8 tons, 40 miles per hour, 750 gallons a minute, and about $800 a year saved in horseshoes. By 1922, every department horse had trotted into history. New York Harbor, October 10th, 1934. Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia slams a sledgehammer into 70C slot machines, a headline-grabbing strike at mob boss Frank Costello's gambling racket. Within an hour, the shattered one-armed bandits were shoveled off a police barge and dumped overboard. LaGuardia called them mechanical pickpockets and vowed New Yorkers would keep their nickels instead of feeding rigged gadgets. Mulberry Street, Little Italy, circa 1900. Pushcarts packed with basil, tomatoes, and live chickens fill every inch. Kids dart between horse-drawn wagons while roasted chestnut smoke perfumes the air. Newspapers joked you could cross the street stepping cart to cart without touching the ground. 38 years later, Mayor LaGuardia swept the carts indoors to the new Essex Street Market. Manhattan, 1913. Here's one of New York's earliest motor fire insurance patrols. These crews often beat the fire brigade to a blaze, tossing waterproof tarps over stock to curb fire and water damage. The brass bell and acetylene lamp cleared the way, and kids rushed over to marvel at a horseless wonder. By 1916, trucks like this had retired the city's last horse-drawn patrol wagons. City Hall Park, 1908. The domed post office commands the foreground, while the brand-new 612-foot Singer Tower, then the world's tallest, pierces the skyline behind it. Horse-drawn cabs still rattle up Broadway. Yet, in just 5 years, the Woolworth Spire will rise and usher in New York's age of steel-frame giants. Fall 1929. After Black Tuesday, this bowler-hatted broker tries to unload a luxury Packard for just $100, roughly a clerk's monthly wage. In the week following the crash, Wall Street erased $30 billion, more than America had spent in World War I. Shiny roadsters became silent tombstones for the roarin'. Union Square, 1908. Mayor George B. McClellan Jr. son of the Civil War general, steps from a shiny PDNY motor car to review New York's brand new traffic squad. With more than 10,000 autos now clogging Manhattan, accidents are soaring, and these officers will pioneer whistles, hand signals, and the city's first traffic lights to tame the streets. This is Car 316's Motorman booth, New York City, circa 1912. The sign, "Do not talk to the motormen," aimed to keep chatter from throwing schedules off. A nickel fare bought 6 miles. Yet the job was brutal. Until 1911, motormen stood on open platforms, often getting frostbite, before unions won enclosed cabs and cold weather gear. Cars like this ruled the streets until the first buses took over. New York, late 1930s. East Side kids try out their Halloween get-ups, 5-cent paper masks, hand-me-down coats. During the Depression, trick-or-treating was brand new, pennies were tight, and apples often stood in for candy. Yet a brownstone stoop like this became a front-row stage for the city's tiniest masquerade. Beneath the Brooklyn Bridge, May 6, 1918. Horse-drawn wagons rumble across a vacant lot that will soon sprout the warehouses and piers of today's Dumbo. New York still stabled roughly 120,000 horses, hauling coal and milk, even though more than 60,000 motor trucks already prowled the streets. The city shoveled up nearly 500 tons of manure a day, and heavy draft teams were finally banned from Manhattan by 1922. New York City, May 8, 1945, VE Day. Office workers shower Fifth Avenue with shredded ticker tape, turning Wall Street quotations into confetti. Within hours, thousands of tons of paper drifted over Manhattan, while taxi horns drowned out radio bulletins announcing Germany's surrender. The formal parade came later. Yet this spontaneous paper storm remains the city's most vivid image of victory and relief. Little Italy, circa 1943. 5 friends strike a confident pose beside a battered Ford. Victory roll hair, a floral brooch, a cigarette held high. With brothers overseas, women are running family shops and clocking factory shifts. Wartime upended the old boys club image of the neighborhood. By VJ Day, 1 in 6 Mulberry Street storefronts would be registered in a woman's name. Looking east from the Tudor City overpass in the early 1950s, the Chrysler Building's stainless steel crown dominates the right, world's tallest for 11 months in 1930, before the Empire State stole the title. Far ahead, traffic dives under the Park Avenue Viaduct into Grand Central Terminal, while pre-war brownstones still cling to the curb. Within a decade, glassbox towers will replace them and give Midtown its modernist sheen. At Washington Square, 1913, 2 Fifth Avenue Coach Company motor omnibuses, an open-top double-decker on the left, a single-decker on the right. Introduced in 1907 to replace horse cars, they charged a dime and were the only public vehicles allowed on fashion-conscious Fifth Avenue. Streetcars were deemed too noisy and unsightly for New York's smartest boulevard.